What's going on, fam? This is Dr. Jolly welcoming you back to my channel. Before I go any further, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button. Today, I want to talk about how to de-escalate a tense situation without apologizing. So I've been going through Al Gore and Beyonce's internet, and I've been seeing a lot of posts directed toward insincere apologies. If you use the word "if," it's not really an apology. If you're sorry for the offense but not the actual thing that you did, it's not an apology. And it's not an apology if you qualify it by saying, I didn't mean to, or that's not what I was trying to do. The apology should just be, I'm sorry for what I did, I won't do it again. I pretty much agree with all of those things, but the tone in which a lot of this enlightenment is presented, I think maybe a little tone deaf. For many of us, since we were young children, we have been conditioned to apologize for things whether we're sorry or not. If you did something wrong, you're supposed to apologize. We've learned to use apologies not so much as a reconciliation. It's really a de-escalation tactic. If you offend somebody and they bring it to your attention, the expectation is that you acknowledge it and you apologize. If you don't, then you come off as if you don't care. You can exacerbate the offense, and you can even sever a relationship. There are so many people who aren't speaking because somebody refused to apologize because they weren't sorry. So here's the thing. Maybe you're not sorry. You don't think you were wrong, but you want to de-escalate the situation. You don't want to keep hurting the other person's feelings. You care. Some people don't care, but you care. And you really just want the situation to end peacefully. And on the person who's waiting to hear the apology side, a lot of the time, they just want their feelings to be acknowledged, validated, and respected. What are some things you can say in place of an apology so that it doesn't come off insincere, you don't feel like you're lying, and the other person still feels heard? Well, honestly, sometimes it just takes telling the truth. You can say, I respect your opinion, but this is really how I feel. If it makes you too uncomfortable, we can stop talking about it. This is especially for situations that deal more with opinions, thoughts, and not so much a tangible offense. I learned to do this a lot during my growing up years, when I became an adult and was kind of coming into my own. And I have a lot of people in my life who have very definite opinions for how they thought I should live my life and things that they thought I should do. And I was defending myself a lot. And then I finally came to that conclusion of, I just disagree with you. And I don't have to do what you're telling me to do just because. So I went from apologizing to defending to just saying, I disagree. And I don't want to keep talking about it. They were a little shocked at first, but eventually they got with the program. And it didn't take a major battle to get there. The next thing you might want to do is just say, help me understand. Sometimes you might cause an offense and you don't necessarily know what the person is actually offended by, or they don't articulate well. So this might actually be a situation where a person really feels that you did something to them and you can't really tell where the offense was. Maybe you made a joke and it triggered something within them, and you're kind of looking at the joke and you're like, I really don't see, it's not directed at anything, it's not targeting anybody, you're not even a part of the joke. Help me understand why you're so upset about this. When you're doing that, you're validating that person's feelings and their offense. It might be that one word in the joke, and it might not even be a bad word, but something that you said in the joke triggered something in them. Maybe their own trauma. Maybe something that they experienced that brought a flashback. And you weren't wrong for telling your joke, and they weren't wrong for being offended by it. And they might give you a reason that is totally understandable why they got upset. You can tell them, well, to be honest, it wasn't my intent to offend, but I'll keep in mind that this is something that makes you feel a type of way. So I'll do my best not to do that in your presence anymore. Finally, offer or request a solution. This would mostly be used in a situation where maybe you're at some sort of an impasse and you just kind of don't care to argue, and you just want to kind of let it go. You don't really care about it. So in that case, you might say, okay, well, I don't really agree with you on that, but whatever you want to do, let me know. In each of those situations, you are acknowledging and validating what the other person feels. You don't have to neglect your own feelings and desires to acknowledge someone else's. Obviously, it takes two people to de-escalate or more. If you find that someone is demanding an apology from you that you don't want to give, you don't have to give it to them. You still don't have to argue. You can literally just say, I'm not sorry, and I'm not arguing about it. Most people who genuinely want to be heard and validated, they'll work with you to get along peaceably. I don't know any two people who know each other intimately over a long period of time. And when I say intimately, you're sharing time and space and conversations and experiences. I don't know any two people who go through a lot of those things and don't come into some sort of conflict at some point. And usually there's one person who kind of just backs down, they apologize, and it's not always necessary or required or even healthy for the relationship. So undo all of that conditioning when you were 4 years old and broke your sister's Barbie doll head, but that's because she hid your favorite book from you and your mom made both of you hug and say sorry. There are things that you might do and you knew it wasn't the right thing to do, but you kind of didn't care because you felt justified in some way. Don't apologize then, because then you're lying, and then it makes it easier for you to do it again the next time. Take the steps to make it right and resolve that you won't do it again. Anyway, this has been Dr. Jolly. Once again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys the next time. Bye.